You're listening to the Nacho Kids Podcast, where we discuss all things stepfamily related. Real stories, real people, real help. Your hosts are the creators of the Nacho Kids Method and the Nacho Kids Academy Stepfamily Coaching Team, Lori and David Sims.
Today we have a biomom and a stepmom. Hey, biomom and stepmom, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Doing good. So, stepmom, tell us a little bit about the blend.
Okay. So my blend is with my husband, obviously. And then I have two children. One of them is now 20 and the other one is 16. And then my stepson is turning 12 in a couple weeks. And we have been married for 11 years. So we've been in a blend for that long.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah. So it's been a interesting 11 years to say the least, but that's my blend. And then biomom has a daughter, stepson's sister.
It's his half sister.
Okay.
So she pretty much is with us
Too. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Really? So she comes to visitation or whatever you want to call it?
No. Well, she doesn't go to visitation, but she's just down at their house a lot. Bio dad also does a lot for her as well.
Okay. So how old is your daughter, biomom?
My daughter is going to be 10 on Saturday.
Wow. So they're pretty close in age.
Yeah.
So I'm not a math wizard, but I guess stepson was 1 or very, very young when you and his dad split up.
No, he was 3 months old when we split up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so hard.
Mm-hmm. But we made it work.
Well, let me ask you. I know my son's father and we weren't together when my son was born. And one of the hardest things in the world was for me to send my baby to him
Mm-hmm.
because he's a baby.
Right.
Did you go through those same emotions? Like you didn't want to look at their room while they were gone and things like that?
Yeah. I mean, it was hard. It was difficult in the beginning. But his dad is a very hands-on dad. So I was very fortunate in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, being away from your newborn baby, and he was premature. He was 9 weeks early. So he was in the NICU for 6 weeks too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Stepmom, you came in the picture fairly quickly.
We started dating around 8 months. My stepson was 8 months old, and we got married very quickly. We got married about 3 months later. So it was a very short engagement, pretty much no engagement.
Yeah.
And we moved in together, and yeah, that was it. We just kind of knew that we wanted to be married so that if there was things that happened, we would have to work through them.
Right. Instead of just going, we're done.
Right.
And so many people, I know you see it every day too, that even though they're married, they still look at it as almost like a dating relationship when it comes to problems, and they just throw their hands up and say, I'm done.
Right.
It's not like back in the day. You know, back in the day, you did not get divorced unless it was absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So what about the first time that you met biomom? What did you think? And tell the truth, even though she's sitting right there, because I'm going to ask her the same question.
It was at his townhouse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we didn't officially meet. We just saw each other
Yeah.
the first time. She was in the car and I was going into the house. And we really didn't. That was when you were, I believe, picking up stepson. So it was a very long time ago. I don't think that we really even talked to each other.
Mm-mm.
So when did y'all start talking? When did that relationship between y'all change?
I would say maybe after my daughter was born, it kind of took a little bit of a better shift. Because they did help out when my daughter was or with my son. And I think it started to get a little bit better then. I mean, it was never me and the dad. We didn't have like a horrible breakup or anything. We weren't married. We were together for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never like a super horrible breakup. But I mean, it wasn't always like it is today. I mean, it took us probably about 5 years to get there when my son started kindergarten, and because we had to go to mediation when my son was little to figure out the parenting schedule. And then we had to go back to mediation before he started kindergarten to figure out what school zone he was going to be in, because one of the things that really took a toll on my co-parenting situation with the dad is that he moved from where I was, that he lived for 10 years, and then he moved over here where we are now. Kind of didn't give me a heads up. Just did it. And so that kind of put a rift between us for a while.
Understandably so.
Yeah, he put like almost 50 miles between us. So,
and that affects so much.
Mm-hmm.
What was your visitation schedule like from the beginning with a child so young?
So in the beginning, it was like 3 days. Every 3 days we would swap, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then as he got older, that's a lot on a kid, a baby. But as he got older, we decided that we would do a Monday through Monday schedule.
Okay. And that works better, doesn't it?
It worked, but I say that, but when he started pre-K, our mediation or our co-parenting agreement was I got him for pre-K. So he was with us during the week while he was in pre-K, and then Dad had him on the weekends and most holidays.
Okay.
And then we decided that it would be best for my son to start school over here in kindergarten. And my plan, once that happened, was to get over here. So obviously I could be with my son in the same school zone. And not only that, I wanted my daughter and my son to go to the same school. So we ended up moving on this side of town shortly and started kindergarten, I think, or first grade. We started building a house over here, and that's what brought us over here.
So I take it that you have a partner.
I have a husband, but of 10 years, but I'm going through a divorce with him right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's needed.
Well, I get that.
And they've been a big support group or support for me for that.
So now you're going to have to deal with visitation stuff with your daughter.
Mm-hmm. And let me back up. Like when we moved, we actually moved in the same neighborhood with stepmom and dad. So it was working really well, but my soon-to-be ex just has a lot of personal issues that he can't work through.
Yeah,
so.
That's hard. But he was okay with moving to where your ex was?
He wasn't thrilled about it, but I will give him credit. He did do it for the kids because he also wanted them to be in the same school. He knew that was important for, them being siblings and being in the same school.
Yeah. I'm glad that he realized that it was about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times as parents and even step parents, we have to be quote, quote, inconvenienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will give him credit for that.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're more prepared through this second adventure of the family court stuff than you were the first time because you know more about it and what's to expect?
Oh, absolutely. I know what to expect this time around. And he also understands that the parenting schedule needs to be the same as I have with my son so they can be together at the same time.
Right. And hopefully your ex doesn't end up with someone that has a different schedule.
I really don't care what he ends up with.
Well, but you might care because whoever he ends up with may say, well, you need to get your schedule changed with little Johnny or little Susie to match my schedule.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, we'll work together, but my kids need to be on the same schedule. And that's how it's going to be put in the co-parenting agreement.
Right. So. And hopefully it'll be a while before he gets in another relationship that and that stepmom isn't overstepping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I wish anyone luck to anyone that gets together with him.
I get it. There is a Facebook group about, don't date my ex or something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of just toxic. Yeah.
So did you and stepmom get along instantly?
I wouldn't say instantly. I wouldn't say that we disliked each other either, though.
I think we were too far apart to really connect instantly, because during that time, biomom lives in Orlando. I lived over on the East Coast, and we didn't see each other like we do now, and we didn't have holidays together and things like that like we do now.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's completely different because we have gotten closer, and I think when my husband and I got married and they still communicated, I feel like the communication was a little lacking, not because of anything that they were doing. I think they were just kind of talking past each other because there was a lot of emotion with their son, and that's completely understandable. And I think that kind of came back on me with my husband telling me things, how he felt about a situation. I was only getting one side of it. And once I got the other side of it, I felt like I could be more open to all of our relationship, just because I could understand where a mom is coming from and where she was coming from. So I think that helped us as well, like move into a friendship.
Right.
There was never a moment in time where there was any bitterness or jealousy or anything like that. All I wanted was for my son's dad to have someone that would be very good to my son as a stepmom.
Right. And that's what we should all want, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want somebody that's going to care for them and protect them, not someone that's going to discipline them, from my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Especially physical discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've never had that problem.
No, you'll never have that problem with me. I don't agree with that. So
yeah. Your husband, stepmom, moved 50 miles away from biomom. Were y'all together when that happened?
We were together, but I was living in a different city at the time. So when we were dating originally, I was in a different city and he was in a different city. We were 2.5 hours apart.
Oh my gosh.
So we had a long distance relationship, and that's kind of why we decided, okay, we're going to get married. We're going to move in together and just make this work. So when he said where he wanted to live, I didn't know that he wasn't telling everybody. I thought that they had an agreement. I didn't know that things weren't settled and in place. So when he got served, I was shocked because I had no idea that was even happening. So things might have been different if I would have known the details. Probably eventually we would have been in this area anyway because his family's here, but things would have definitely been different with the communication.
Right. Do you know why he didn't tell her or tell you?
Because he knew I'd have a problem with it. And when we split, like my family did tell me, you need to, get a parenting agreement in order, get it, go to mediation now because you never know what can happen. And I just never saw my son's dad doing that by moving without telling me. So I didn't listen to my family. But when he did that, I immediately got an attorney, and that's when all the mediation stuff started happening.
Yeah. It's important to have a court order.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And I also say it's important to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't,
mm-hmm.
you're doing what you're supposed to legally.
Yeah.
We've never had that issue. We've always followed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people don't. They'll say, oh, no, we're going to switch weeks. And then something happens and it becomes a big blow up.
Yeah.
So I think court orders are very important, although they are expensive and hard to enforce.
Mm-hmm.
So what does your husband, stepmom, think about you having such a good relationship with biomom?
Oh, he's all about it. Honestly, we do things together all the time. We've traveled together. We were just recently on a trip together in a different state.
Like we don't just co-parent. We're family.
We're close.
And I consider her like one of my really like good friends.
Yeah, so he loves it because it makes it easier for the kids, and really that's what's important. And
I mean, we go out without the kids, and,
right?
and hang out, and
right. Like our vacation was not with the kids. We went out, we had a good time.
Really, just all three of y'all, or
no? We had other friends as well.
Okay.
There was 5 of us, but 3 of them were the 3 of us.
Yeah.
So, and it was just a great trip, and I don't worry about them. I'm sure some people are thinking, oh, well, what if they do something? I would never even consider that.
My son's dad and I we don't look at each other that way at all. Like,
right. That's like a different life. It's been so long, right?
I consider him like
you consider him your best friend's husband. That is also the parent of your child.
He's like a best friend. And I think he does that with me too. And I know like, they know that I'll always have their back and vice versa.
So if your son came home by a mom and said that stepmom was being mean to him, what would you do? Because I know what someone that doesn't have a good relationship with stepmom would do. What would you do?
I can honestly say that's never happened, but if it did happen, I would have a discussion with her.
You would feel comfortable enough to reach out to her and say, hey, little Johnny said this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's amazing that y'all can get along like that, because not many people can do that. And if they can, it doesn't last because somebody oversteps.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. We have respect and we don't overstep our boundaries. Like I don't overstep my boundaries, like with how they discipline in their household. Obviously, I mean, if there's beating going on, I would, get involved. I know that doesn't happen. If anyone oversteps a little bit, it would be dad, because he's just like a helicopter dad. So sometimes I have to kind of bring him back to earth a little bit.
Rein him in.
What did you say, stepmom?
I said rein him in.
Yeah.
Rein him in, yep.
Yeah. My son adores him. He looks up to him so much. Me and my son have a very close relationship too, but there's that father-dad bond. And he just knows that he's loved by everybody. That's all he's ever known, because we've been, not together since he was 3 months old. So this is all my son knows.
Right.
Or my daughter is now going to be 10, and now I'm going through a divorce. So, she's a lot more affected by it than my son was, because he was so young and this is all he knows.
Right. So if your ex by a mom makes you mad, do you call or message stepmom and say, what is up his butt today?
Not usually. I usually go straight to him. We don't get her involved unless we both agree that we need her opinion on something. So we do our best to figure it out on our own, and stepmom understands that and respects that.
Right. So stepmom, do you nacho?
I try to do that. I don't think my husband agrees with that, just because my kids don't see their biological dad. So I think he feels like he doesn't have the opportunity to do that.
Right.
But I do. I think when I first got into this marriage, I thought that I didn't really know what that was. And I thought everything needed to be, like a family, and you have to be one unit and all this stuff. And so I think when I realized that you can do that and you can step away from that and just support the children and not try to be like more of a parent, I think that really helped me like step away from it and not be, I don't know, I really wasn't ever upset or anything, because I never tried to take any type of mom role away from biomom. I just kind of always supported them. So I think it just helped me maybe put perspective in for my husband more than anything.
Right. I'm going to ask you both this. Do y'all think that your husband and ex-husband has guilty parent syndrome?
I don't think he feels guilty. I mean, I think he wishes he could see his son all the time,
right,
which
same.
Most parents do. And I know that biomom feels the same way. They both, of course, want to see their child all the time.
Right.
And I do think that he is a little jealous that I see my kids all the time, that he has guilt, because he does do a lot. They both do a lot for him. And he doesn't want for anything. He's a great kid that has everything that he needs.
Stepmom, you agree? I mean, biomom, you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, biomom, what about you? Or stepmom, what about you? Because I know having my son, even 95% of the time, I still had guilty parent syndrome. I didn't want to punish him or correct him right before he went to his dad's.
So I feel more like that with my daughter because she's older going through this divorce. I think because my son has always known this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is a part of me that, this isn't what I wished for my life.
Right. Definitely. Because that just means you're going to see your daughter less.
But in a situation like this, I think it's the best that it can be.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that won't even talk to their ex and they have kids together and stuff like that. So in this situation, even though, it's a separate household and situation, I think we've made the best out of it, the best that it can be. Like we celebrate holidays together, and like stepmom doesn't just even help out with my son, she helps out with my daughters. Like she's helped me with birthdays, setting them up, making food, like just all that. So I think the kids seeing all that, seeing us come together as a family unit is only going to, help them understand we did the best that we could in this kind of situation.
And it's going to help their relationship with stepmom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Them seeing y'all get along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you said y'all live in the same neighborhood?
Well, we all did, but I ended up moving out because of the divorce.
Oh.
So I'm not in the neighborhood anymore, but I'm not
too
far. Yeah.
How far away are you?
I'm about 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. So it's not bad.
That's not bad, but it's not as easy as the neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But
when you were in the neighborhood, would your son just kind of be able to walk to dad's?
I mean, he could ride his bike back and forth. So.
And I think that's good. I know I was talking to actually Summer Butler the other day about some parents when they separate, a new thing that a lot of people are doing if they can afford it is the parents are the one that changes houses. So the kid stays in one house.
I wanted to do that with my soon-to-be ex, but he was not willing to do that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would be so much easier on your daughter.
I had a conversation about him going to the Airbnb and then us just taking turns, but he didn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it would offer some challenges, right? It wouldn't just be easy peasy. But I think for the child, it is so much better because they're not packing up and going to somebody else's house. Now, granted, they may be struggling with, okay, mom's got different rules and dad's got different rules, and I'm in the same house, but it's still easier than bouncing back and forth, I would think.
Yeah, right. And I think I'm starting to see some people do that. I think that's like a new thing coming. But the thought did go through my mind. I had a conversation and he just wasn't about it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, and I'm looking for people to be on the podcast that do it. Do those people have another home that they share when they're not with the kid? Or is there two separate homes?
Yeah.
Like three total. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would have been one home where we would share when we didn't have the kids. So, but, and that's kind of, it's not ideal, but it is better on the kids, I think.
Yeah.
But
I think so too.
It's like, if the parents can't figure it out, it's like, have them go back and forth versus the kids. But, that you're talking about a lot of money with two houses or even three houses. You know what I mean? So
yes, 100%. And even those the step parents, there's a lot of step parents and bio parents that are doing the living apart together thing.
Yeah. Right.
Which to me, it doesn't help your relationships because you're avoiding it.
Yeah.
So, stepmom, I'm curious, if you don't mind my asking, why don't your kids see their dad?
Well, he decided to stalk me and pretty much do all kinds of things when we split up. So I had to get an injunction against him.
Oh, wow. And I guess that injunction kept him from seeing his kids too?
Well, that's what he thinks. But
Okay.
he could have filed with family court, and he didn't.
Oh, and I wouldn't tell him.
Well, the judge told him, and he still didn't do it. So,
Well, he made that choice then, didn't he?
exactly. Yep.
And that's so sad for the kids.
It is. It's very sad. I mean, I don't know where I would be if he was involved in their life, like with them, because who knows what kind of impact that would have on them. So I do think that they thrived without that.
Right.
But anyone wishes that they have a good relationship with the bio parent of their kids, and they can both see them equally and raise them and be there for them. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for my kids, and I do feel bad for them for that. But I think they're better off with the way it happened.
When's the last time that your kids saw their dad?
About 11 and a half years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Saul, spoke to, everything.
Wow. And he doesn't reach out to you or try to find out how they're doing?
I mean, he can't.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So no.
Is that injunction forever?
Yes.
But he could, like you said, go through the family court and they could figure out a way for him to be able to see his kids, but he just didn't.
And I think it's too late for that now. My daughter's 20. She's in college.
Oh, yes.
My son's 6. So, I mean, even if he tried, I don't know that they would even consider seeing him at this point.
Yeah, because he could try to reach out to them.
Right.
Do they consider your husband dad? Do they call him dad?
They do call him dad, yes.
Does that make your heart happy? Because you feel like they have a dad finally?
It does make my heart happy because I think that he truly wanted a family, with lots of kids when we got married. So, and my son was my last kid. I made sure of that. So this was it. It was his son, my kids, and that was it. And then of course, biomom's daughter has taken up the role of his, I guess, I don't know, what do you call that? Not really a stepdaughter, but
a
just
bonus daughter.
A bonus daughter, yes.
Yeah.
So he has a bonus daughter. Mm-hmm. And she actually even considers my kids her siblings. She calls my son her brother all the time. So, and he calls her his sister. So it's very cute.
Mm-hmm. Because they've been around the whole time, right?
Yep.
Bye, Mom. I hate that you're going through this. I do hope that if your ex gets into a relationship, that you have someone that is as good as stepmom is.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It makes life so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like his personal issues, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he'll never find somebody, but I think he has a lot of internal stuff to work on. But maybe, I don't know, maybe someone will come along and be able to put up with it.
At least for a little while.
I did it we've been separated for a year, so I did it for 9 years, but we've been married 10 years.
Yeah, and you're like, what? How did I do that?
Yeah. It was Eric, her stepmom and dad of my son. They saw a lot too. So I think a lot of people did towards the end.
Yeah. And you always had those friends that I knew he wasn't right for you from the beginning.
Yeah, it's funny how when you leave somebody, a lot of people start
coming out the woodwork,
like telling you like what they saw and how they felt about it, but they didn't feel comfortable at the time to approach me about it.
Yeah, I've got a friend that when her and her husband split up, she called me one day and she said, I've got to tell you something. I said, what? She said, out of all my friends, you are the only one that said something to me in the beginning about how you didn't like him.
Yeah.
And you just had this bad feeling, kind of thing. She said, everybody else waits till we split up. They're like, yeah, I think he's a piece of blank,
I did have one family member do that in the beginning and always has felt that way. So when she found that I left, she was very, very happy.
Well, she's the one you need to talk to before you get another relationship.
It's true.
Because the probability of you ending up in another blend is very high.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very true.
Especially at my age, for sure.
Well, I don't know your age, but I know.
I'll be 48 in October. So there's always going to be baggage, I think, with anyone that comes along.
Okay. So yeah, you're definitely done having kids.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely not even up for question.
Ship has sailed.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to find somebody that doesn't have that baggage. And I hate to call it baggage, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. And same here. I mean, it's going to, for me to find somebody that doesn't have his past, everyone has a past. So,
right. Yeah. And you don't want to bring your insecurities or trauma from this past relationship into your next one.
Yep, it's very true.
I know David and I both, we understood where each other had come from. So if there was an insecurity that arose, we understood where that came from. And I think that's so important because it's not, oh, Lori's crazy, which I'm not saying he never said that, but it's not Lori's crazy. It's, oh, I see. This was a trigger, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important that to have that communication.
Right. Yeah. And that's something that me and my soon to be ex he's just a particular person and doesn't communicate very well. So.
Yeah. We see a lot of that. It's hard. It's hard to communicate, especially if your parents never communicated.
Yeah.
Like my parents, their communication was screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's like really the only emotion that my soon to be ex knows is like how to express his anger. It's hard for him to express anything else. And it got to the point where my kids were wanting me to leave.
Yeah, because they're probably afraid.
He never did anything to them, but as they got older, they started seeing stuff that, he was doing just towards me, not towards them.
Well, I was going to say, are you concerned for your daughter?
Yeah, I don't want her to have a misconstrued image on men because of this, or on marriage, but, she and him are trying to work on their relationship and, she's only 10.
Yeah. And she's getting ready to go through a lot of emotions in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, she already does.
Yeah.
So, on top of it, like she was diagnosed with a low-grade pediatric glioma brain tumor back in 2023. We are very blessed that it's benign, but she did have to go on chemo last year. But we did take her off chemo, and now she's doing a holistic approach, and it seems to be working. She actually had an MRI today, and we get the results from that tomorrow. But that's another thing, like stepmom and my son's dad, they were there for me during all of that, and they never have wavered even since then.
That is so scary.
Oh, it was awful.
I didn't know that you would have chemo for something that wasn't cancerous.
I learned all this too. Yeah, because the tumor was growing.
Okay. So to shrink it?
Yeah. So it was very problematic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it did, in the 9 months, she was supposed to be on it for 2 years in a clinical trial, but she was only on it for 9 months. We made the decision to take her off of it because it was obviously it's chemo. And it was having a lot of effects on her physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And so started a holistic approach back in November, and her MRIs have been coming back really good since then. So we're hoping this holistic approach continues to work.
If you don't mind, I would like if you would share that information with me about the holistic approach. I know someone that recently found out he's got a brain tumor.
Oh, wow.
So if you could share that with me privately, then.
Yeah, absolutely. I will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you, I can send you the stuff that she's taking for it. She takes 8 capsules a day, once a day. And she's been on it since November. So.
Oh, so it's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the results from her MRI tonight are good that we get tomorrow. So,
Yes.
but so she got off chemo in November. We started the holistic approach then. She had an MRI in January, and the tumor shrunk just a tad. We didn't know if that was from residual chemo and the holistic combined. And then she had another MRI in April, and that one showed that the tumor and the cysts were also, like, they shrunk even more.
Oh, good.
So now, come July, she's been off of it for 8 months. 8 months. So I feel like we'll have a more like a good reading of the results tomorrow, seeing that she's off the chemo for a full 8 months.
Right.
Because that was what sparked all of this. She was getting really bad headaches and vomiting. I mean, she has complained about like headaches since like January, but nothing in the past few months. And she hasn't, I think she's vomited once in the past 8 months.
Wow. Yeah.
And I wish I would have researched it more before I put her on chemo. But I was so scared when all this was going on, and I chose to listen to the doctors.
Don't beat yourself up. You did what you thought was right.
Yeah. But those 9 months were horrible. So I'm glad I got in contact with people that informed me of holistic stuff and researched it and everything. So I'm hoping this will always work for her.
Yes, me too. And stepmom, it's great that you and your husband both could be there for biomom during that time.
Oh, they were incredible because she was in the hospital for a week because she had a brain surgery. They had to take a biopsy of the tumor, and then they put a permanent shunt in her too. But yeah, they were up at the hospital. They were helping with my son while we were up there. I mean, again, it's just like a family unit.
Yeah, it's like y'all were just a little blended family all on yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Family. Some people think it's really weird, like at first, but once they like hang around us and stuff, they get it. They get it. You know? But like if you like people at work, I talk about it, and in the beginning they thought it was weird, but I talk about them so much, like helping my daughter, and like, you know, it does go above and beyond for my son because
my ex,
he has more flexibility than I do when it comes to my working hours. He does a lot with my son, with taking him to baseball practice and all that stuff when I can't do it. So,
and that is so awesome because relationships like I had with my son's father, I remember one time he wanted to do basketball with him. Well, he only had every other weekend. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. And I didn't mind doing that. But so many kids can't participate in that stuff because the other parents like, no, that's my time. You can't make me take them on my time.
No, we've never done that. It's always been about our son, right? No matter what. Like even when we do have hiccups, and we still have hiccups now and then, it's always going to be that way, you know, like, but we talk through it and we get through it. If there are stuff that we don't agree on or whatever, we talk through it and we manage a solution on how to get through it.
And move past it.
And we don't dwell on it, and we don't let it affect our relationship on how we co-parent. So I think my son is really going to grow up and see and understand how much we love him and what we did for him to make this work for him.
Exactly.
And I gained a really good friend on top of it all. So
yes, you did. It's awesome. And you know, it's just the people that look at you like, oh, that's weird. It's people like me because we just can't fathom it. Right. I can't imagine hanging out with David's ex. The few times that I've been around her, I can be polite and I can be cordial, but it's just not somebody I want to hang out with. You know what I mean?
Now we go out for girls' night with our other friends and like,
girls'
night. So I mean, I don't know. We just clicked.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's just definitely easier and better for the kids. So that's what mattered.
That is what matters.
I think I would still be friends with her even if this wasn't the situation. If I met her some other way. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people stop, is they stop at what happened between their husband and the ex, or their wife and the ex. And I think that's where they kind of stop. They don't look past that and say, okay, well, let me get to know this person as a person and build a relationship with them to try and make things more comfortable, more easy, better for everybody. I think they have it in their head. And I know some people can't get past the fact that the person that they're trying to build a relationship with was once with their current.
Like, let me be friends with the person that slept with my husband.
Right, exactly. So, that doesn't bother me. That's
was never
in the past, and
for us. Yeah.
No, just it is what it is. It happened.
Because me and Dad we understand we're just way better off as good friends.
Right.
Right. Now, do y'all try to keep things, we'll say, as similar as you can between the two homes? Like, if stepson did do something bad and he's on restriction, does that carry over when he goes to the other house?
I do think Dad is more of the disciplinary parent. As my son is getting older, like my son, I mean, I hate to say it, I know I'm biased, but he really is a good kid. I don't have a lot of problems with him. I mean, as he's becoming a teenager, I can see a little bit of an attitude coming out here and there.
And hormones.
But my son has always, I don't know, he's always just been very close to me, and he opens up to me when it's just him and I, because I do like having one-on-one time with both my children.
Yeah.
But he hasn't, as he's gotten older, he doesn't really disrespect me. You know, there are hormones going on, and he is getting a little mouthy sometimes, but as soon as I put him in check, he backs off.
Be like, don't make me cut up, little boy.
Yeah. You know, and his life has been kind of, it's been affected too, with his sister going through chemo last year and seeing all that. So his life got affected as well. And he's been a really good big brother to her. I mean, they do fight a lot, but they love each other hard.
Yeah. And that's so great, because, I mean, you could have easily been one of those, or stepmom, you could have easily been one of those step parents that's like, no, you're not sending your extra kid over here.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she is actually she's really good at doing hair and makeup and all that. So any dress up day for school, my daughter will ask, if stepmom can do her hair and stuff like that. So we'll send her down there, and stepmom will do her hair and all that. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know when I have the step granddaughter, she'll be 3 this year in November. I know why God did not give me a girl, because her hair looks like a hot mess when I try to do it.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah.
Chasing her around, trying to put it in a ponytail. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been good at that.
We all have our strengths. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And it doesn't end there with my daughter. Like, my son's dad's parents, which are my son's grandparents, obviously, they're also grandparents to my daughter. So
that is great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And I know many cases where a child has had a grandparent and they didn't even realize they weren't their biological grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So to your daughter, these are her grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't treat her any differently, right?
Nope.
Mm-mm. No.
That's awesome.
So I've been very blessed in that sense, because they also live in the same neighborhood. So when we do need help from them, they help out as well. So.
Well, it seems like that y'all all have a great support system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so important in life in general.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what is one piece of advice that each of you would give someone that is getting into a blended relationship?
I would just go in it with, it's all about the kid, and put any differences aside and try to give that step parent the benefit of the doubt, and just try to get to know them on a level outside of what you're hearing from the other parent. And, if there's nothing bad going on, and if you realize that they're a good person, then just be appreciative and just make it work as a blended family, especially on holidays and birthdays and all that. Any jealousy, there's been no jealousy with us, but I feel like there's a lot of jealousy with other situations like this.
Yes.
Just put that aside and just focus on the child and what's best for the child.
Right. What about you, stepmom?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a blended family, just in general, for kid-wise, I would say don't have high expectations because you never know what's going to happen.
Have no expectations.
Right. I do think a lot of people go into a blended family having very high expectations or having expectations that don't get met, which causes issues. And really, that's really not fair to the person that you're having the expectation about because they probably don't even know that that's there. Right. So I think just not having expectations, building trust with the other parents for a good co-parenting relationship, and then just trying to build that trust.
Right. And that is so important. Your kids are going to be so much better off because number one, they know they can't play y'all because y'all talk.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, they know everyone has their best interest at heart. It's not my hate for my ex outweighs my love for my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in a situation where it wasn't good between my parents that were divorced. And there was a lot of, negative things that both parents would say about each other. And I think, I know I always told myself I won't be that parent. And I've never talked badly about my son's dad to my son. And I never plan to. If there's an issue, I address it with him directly. Because there's been some times where, my son has said stuff and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I never let my son know that. I go straight to his dad and we discuss it.
Right. So. And your ex isn't going to go to your son and go, I can't believe you told your mama.
I don't think he does that.
Yeah. But see, a lot of times that's what happens. So, everybody's afraid to communicate. It's like what happens at my house is a secret. Like everybody lives in Vegas. They're on Vegas.
Yeah, we've always had this thing too. Like it's
since stepson or since bio son.
It's my bio son. Since he was little and could FaceTime, we FaceTime every night pretty much. And so that's something that we always do for each other as well.
That is awesome. I know too many parents that do not have that ability to even talk to their kids when they're with the other bio parent.
Yeah, that's never been the case. We've never done that with each other.
Yeah. And that affects
and when I don't have my son, I mean, I know I'm always welcome to go see him when he's over there and vice versa.
Right.
So,
it's not it's not your time. Get away.
Yeah. And like when it's not my time and we want to do something as a family, we do, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Like when it's not his time and we want to do something as a family, like we just do. So, I mean, we both can see whenever we want, pretty much.
We both can see ourselves.
My son. Sorry. How are you going to edit this out?
You'll see. When it starts sounding funny, you'll know why.
Okay.
I'm really impressed with both of y'all. All of y'all.
Thank you. Yeah.
Really. And it's like, I don't know that most men would feel comfortable with their ex and their current partner being friends.
Yeah, I mean, my husband is definitely a special one. So he even, when I told biomom about this, he was like, well, what about me? And I said, if Lori wants you to come on and talk about your experience with blended families, I'll let her know you're available. Okay?
Yes, tell him definitely. We need more men to share their story.
Yeah. I mean, that would be good for, him to, say his side of it too.
He loves to share.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. So you've got the information. You just email me and you can use the same link to schedule for him.
Yep. No problem.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. And I really appreciate you taking the time. I can't talk. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your story with us. And you're giving other step families hope that they can find that peace within and it not always be a struggle with the co-parents.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And remember that life is good.
And it really is when you nacho.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nacho Kids Podcast. Find us online at nachokids.com. Until next time, remember, life is good when you nacho.